All right, so let me paint the picture. You find yourself in toxic relationships and toxic friendships. You give all that you can to people, you do for people, you are there for people, you motivate people, you inspire people, yet at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you feel drained. You don't feel like they poured into you the way you poured into them. And you wonder why you continuously find yourself in toxic dynamics. You start to question your own worth. You start to question whether you're crazy. You even start to question if any of the friendship or the relationship was real or if it was all made up in your head. And you're trying to figure out why in the hell does this keep happening to me? Relationship after relationship. I'm always around toxic people. Toxic people just love me, and I don't know what the hell is going on. What if I told you that toxic people do it to everybody? What if I told you that's just who they are? What if I told you that the only reason why you find yourself in toxic friendships and toxic relationships time and time again is because you have no boundaries? People know what they're doing, okay? But you have a tendency to give people the benefit of the doubts. People show you time and time again who they are, and you choose not to listen. You choose to make excuses for their behavior. You choose to give them chance after chance. They have already shown you that they can't reciprocate the love and the energy that you give them. They have already shown you that. They've told you that in multiple ways. But yet, you continuously do for them because you want to be a good person. You know how it feels to be in their shoes. Maybe in toxic friendships, maybe you know how it feels to be the odd girl out or the woman who just constantly finds themselves in traumatic instances, and you just want to be that good friend to show them that there's light at the end of the tunnel and that they're going to make it through. But they keep showing you time and time again that they are not capable of pouring into you the way you pour into them. Let me move the camera just a little bit. Okay. But you keep doing it. You keep doing it. Ladies, people know what they're doing, okay? Don't get it twisted. Don't get confused. They know what they're doing. You just are the one that accepts it. On this channel, you guys, we're not victims. That whole victim mindset, I just attract toxic people, I'm an empath. No, you're not. You are not a victim. You are an empowered woman, okay? You are a woman who is working on herself. You're a woman who's glowing up. You're a woman who knows what she wants. You're not a victim. Toxic people do those things to everybody. You're just the one that stuck around, okay? You are just the one who stuck around because you don't have any boundaries. I need you to know your worth. I need you to stand on it, 10 toes down. This is why we have talked about in numerous videos the importance of having standards for yourself. Because if you do not have standards and if you do not have boundaries for yourself, people will walk all over you. They will walk all over you. And you know what's crazier? You let them. You let them. The signs were there, ladies. I'm not with the shits. The signs were there. As women, we choose to ignore them. We choose to give people the benefit of the doubt. We choose to give them 30 chances to get it together. We choose to gaslight ourselves. You ever gaslit yourself before? Where it's like, okay, you have one side of you that knows they're on some BS, but then you have the other side of you that's like, well, no, they didn't mean it like that. I know they're having a rough month. I know they just lost their job, so it's okay. No, it's not. It's not okay. And you keep tolerating it. You keep tolerating it. And that is the problem, ladies. You have no boundaries. You let people walk all over you. You let people use and abuse you. And then at the end of the day, you're drained because you gave all of this energy into a relationship, into a friendship, and you feel like all they did was take from you. Take, 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 take. But what if I told you you still got something out of it? What if I told you you still got something out of it? Child, look. A lot of times we stay in toxic friendships, toxic relationships, because there's still something that we're getting from that person. Maybe it's validation. Maybe it's companionship to some extent. Like, you're lonely. You're not fulfilled. So you keep them around because they cuddle real good. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out. You got something out of that relationship. Maybe you're trying to heal your inner child. You're helping them because you know what it's like to go through XYZ, and you see this person is going through XYZ, and you just want to show them it's okay. It doesn't have to be this way. I can help you. In reality, it's really about yourself. That's why you stayed. That's why you stayed. It was something that you were getting in that relationship, in that dynamic, and that's why you stayed. It has nothing to do with you being an empath. No. Nope. Not at all. You stayed because you were getting something. You were getting something. Even if it was a crumb of something, you were still getting something, and that's why you stayed. Because there's pieces of you that are not fully fulfilled. There's pieces of you that have not healed. Because a woman who is truly healed, meaning she's confident, she has her boundaries and her standards, she stands on business, she respects herself, and she makes sure other people respect her, she wouldn't be in those dynamics. Because the first sign of toxicity, red flags, she'd be out. She'd be out. She would not be sitting around trying to figure out, well, maybe they just had a bad day. No, she'd be gone. Wouldn't even text back. Ladies, I need us to stop putting the blame on other people and turn around and put the blame on yourself. Okay? When you start to look at the role you played in the situation, now you have the ability to change it because you have acknowledged it. Okay? You have to acknowledge the role that you played and why the things went south. I know. And listen, I'm not sitting here saying that it doesn't hurt, okay? I'm not sitting here saying that you don't have a right to be upset. But what I'm saying to you is we have to do better. That's what I'm saying to you. We have to do better. We have to have a better vetting process. Before you let people into your life, take things slow. Anyone who's trying to rush you into friendships, rush you into relationships, they're trying to rush right back out. There's something that they want. Take your time. Get to know the person before you let them all in. And stop second guessing your intuition. That too is another one. If you have a spirit inside of you that is telling you something's not right, listen to it. Listen to it. No, you're not overthinking. No, you're not being dramatic. No, you're not too sensitive. Listen to it. It is better to be wrong than to be right. Ladies, the signs were there. The signs were there, okay? The signs are there. And I know you want closure. You want closure. You keep ruminating over everything that happened because you want to understand why they did it. Why did they treat you like that? Why did they talk to you like that? Why did they continuously disrespect you? You want to know why. You want to know why. But the only reason why you want to know why is because you want to control the situation, because you feel like if you know why they treated you the way they treated you, well, then now you know how to control it so it doesn't happen again. But you guys, they do this to everybody. You're not special. The only reason why it hurts you is because you had no boundaries with it. That's why. So let me give you an example. Let me break it down. Let me break this down. Okay. Maybe you were in a dynamic. This person was toxic towards you. They were always hollering and calling you out your name. And you're trying to figure out, why are they talking to me like that? Why are they talking to me like that? All the things that I do, I show them love, I show them care, I give them attention. Why are they talking to me like that? They talk to everybody like that. It's not just you. They raise their voice with everybody. They name call with everybody. It is not just you. You're just the one that tolerates it. Other people who are healed, they don't tolerate it. So they leave or they distance themselves from that person. You're not special. They treated you like that because you allowed it. You don't have no boundaries. And I'm big on name calling. I feel like I said that in another video. I don't do that name calling shit. What are we, 12? What are we, 12? They name call everybody. You're just the one that sat around and tolerated it. And I know it hurts. I know it hurts. But you're looking for closure. You're looking for a reason why. I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why. This is the closure that you need. They do it because you let it. They do it because they do that to everybody. It's not just you. Maybe you were in a relationship and you felt like they were using you. Maybe every time you turn around, they're asking something, and you're trying to figure out, well, I gave them this, I gave them that. Why are they treating me like this? They do that to everybody. They're takers. They don't know how to build anything. They're lazy. If they got somebody around them who they think will give them something, they're going to ask. They just kept coming to you and asking you because you always say yes. Other people done cut them off already. Other people done told them no. You keep saying yes. That's why they keep asking you for more money. But they run that shit with everybody. They run it with their family. They run it with their other friends. You're the one that keeps giving it to them. That's the only reason why they're using you. You're not special. You're not special. And a lot of times, listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Because I've been through it. I know. I have told you guys in other videos, I have struggled with finding healthy friendships. I've told you this before, which is why I don't have any friends, okay? I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. But I wasn't always. It really used to hurt my feelings. Like, dang, why don't nobody want to hang out with me? Why everybody treat me like this? Why every time I, try to be a good person to people, they want to use me. They want to play games. They want to start that competition shit. They want to say shady shit. Why it always got to be that way? I know how it feels. I know what you're going through. But sitting in that space of woe is me and everybody just treats me so toxic and I don't understand what I'm doing, that's not getting you anywhere. Because all you're going to do is leave that toxic relationship and then go find you another one. And the cycle is going to continuously repeat itself over and over and over again. What I need you to understand is they do that to everybody. It's not just you. That's the closure that you need. Listen. What I know is this. Sometimes, and I'm not sitting here saying this is what you did. I'm just saying. Sometimes, a lot of times, more often than not, when we meet people, we put them on this pedestal for some reason. I don't really know why we do it, but we do it. Maybe a lot of times when you go up to people, when people go up to you, it's something about them that you admire and vice versa. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this. Most of the time, when someone comes up to you and introduces themselves to you, there's something about you that they admire. That's why they're coming up to you. It's something that they want. And it's not malicious, okay? I don't want you to think anytime someone comes up to you, they're trying to run over on you. No. Just understand, most of the time when people come up to you and they introduce themselves, it's something that they want. Maybe you're really in shape and they want to be in shape. Maybe they love your energy. Maybe they love your confidence. Maybe they admire the way you run your business. There's something that they see in you that they really admire that they don't have. Okay? That's most of the time why people come up to you. Most of the time, not always. And so you, because you have low confidence and low self-esteem, you a lot of times put them on some type of pedestal. Maybe they said some cool things that they do, or maybe they tell you about themselves and you're like, wow, that's so cool. So now you have put them on some type of pedestal to some degree, okay? And so because you have put them on this pedestal, a lot of times you are seeing them through rose-colored glasses. So now you're not even seeing them for what they show you. You're seeing them for what you think they are. And now they're giving you, as the relationship progresses, right? They're showing you who they are, okay? Because maybe they're inconsistent, but you want to make an excuse for it. Maybe they didn't ask you for a favor really quickly, and you're like, we just get to know each other while they're asking, but you still did it. Maybe you let them talk to you sideways, and you made it to that. You see them the way you want to see them, not for who they are, because you have placed them on some type of pedestal, okay? And that's the problem. And the reason why we do this is because you have low self-esteem and you think they're better than you. I don't know what they told you in the conversation. I'm not too sure how they finessed you, but somewhere in that conversation, you think that they're better than you in something. And so now you have them up here and you, in your head, you think you're down here. And that's why you tolerate what you tolerate. Because you don't want to see them for who they really are, okay? Because you got them on this pedestal. Ladies, and this isn't just for females. This could be, maybe you met a woman and she has a house. You want a house. And so, you admire her for the fact that she has a house. And because she has a house, in your eyes, you think she's better than you. You have placed her higher than you in your head because she has a house. And so now when she's interacting with you and she's starting to do some toxic ass shit, you don't want to see her for who she really is because you in your mind have placed her above you because she has a house, something that you want. And you look at people who have houses and maybe you think they're responsible, they got a lot of money, maybe you think they're super smart. These are all things that are going on in your head. And so you don't want to see the red flags because you have already placed them above you. And so you tolerate it. You make excuses for it. But the reason why you do that is because you don't know your worth. Look, I can't make this up. Ladies, we have got to set some standards for ourselves moving forward so that these things do not continue to happen. Know your worth. Know your worth. If something feels off, it's because it's off. If you feel disrespected, you were disrespected. Stop gaslighting yourself. Stop trying to put people on these pedestals. Ain't nobody above you. I don't care what they got. I don't care what he looked like. He's not above you. He is not the prize. Okay? Stop putting these toxic ass people on pedestals and then being their damn doormat. No. Have some standards. And the reason why you struggle with low standards is because you tolerate low standards for yourself. You don't have any standards for yourself. When was the last time you told yourself you were going to lose weight and you still haven't done it? No standards. When was the last time you told yourself you were going to work on your business and you still haven't done it? No standards. You don't even respect yourself enough to have standards for your own life. And that's why you're tolerating bullshit from other people. That's why. That's why you think other people are above you, because you have no respect for yourself. Why don't you have respect for yourself? Because you never keep the promises that you make to yourself. This is why I keep telling you, you're not an empath. No, you're not. That is just a coping mechanism that people want to use so they don't have to blame themselves for why they're in the situations they're in with people. You're not a damn empath. You lack confidence. You have no respect for yourself whatsoever. That's the real problem. They do it to everybody, ladies. It's not just you. It's not just you. Maybe it's toxic family. Maybe you're like, why does my family member treat me like this? Why does my brother treat me like this? They do it to everybody. You're just the one that tolerates it because you think that because y'all are blood, you're supposed to tolerate it. When in reality, no. They begging everybody. You're just the one that's always giving it to them. They cursing everybody out. You're just the one that tolerates it. Everybody else done blocked them. Okay? So you are not a victim. If you want to play victim, go to somebody else's video. On this channel, we don't sit in victimhood. You are an empowered woman and you're going to change. So now that we talked about why we tolerate disrespect and toxicity from people and why we keep running into it, now let's talk about how we're going to fix it. So that moving forward, we attract healthy relationships, healthy friendships. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Number one, what I want you to do, especially because we're entering a new year, I want you to, and you got to dig deep, ladies. Don't just sit here and watch. I can't stand people like this. Don't just sit here and watch these videos and you don't do it. Because honestly, you're just wasting your time. You got to do it, okay? What I want you to do is dig deep and ask yourself, you could have anything you wanted, and it doesn't have to just be money. Like, I know a lot of times we just jump to, oh, I got to have $1 million. No, I want you to dig deep. Matter of fact, take money out of it. Nothing but money. I want you to dig deep and ask yourself, what could you do in your life that would make you feel good about yourself? Okay, and not just surface level. I really want you to dig deep and figure out, what goals did you have maybe once upon a time that you never reached? What things did you think you were going to be doing years ago, and here we are today, you're still not doing them? I want you to really ask yourself those questions. Like, just list it out. List it out. Like, would you have started a business? Would you have lost some weight? Would you have taken a trip somewhere? Maybe you want to travel internationally. You haven't done it yet. I just want you to really think about, what are some things that you've always wanted to do for you that you haven't gotten around to doing yet? And it doesn't have to be a long list. It doesn't have to be a list of 50 things. It could be a list of 2 things, 3 things. But I want you to figure out, what is that? Then once you figure that out, I want you to create a game plan on how you can get it done this year. This year. Not 10 years from now. No, this year. How can we get it done this year? And then once you figure out how you can get it done this year, I want you to focus on that. That's what I want you to focus on. Because, and I'm going to tell you why we're doing this. The reason why we're doing this is because we have to start respecting ourselves. Okay? The reason why you tolerate toxic energy from people, disrespectful ass people, people who use you, the reason why we tolerate this and find ourselves in these dynamics over and over and over again is because we don't respect ourselves. It has nothing to do with them. I just told you they do that with everybody. But because you don't respect yourself, you tolerate it. So if we build self-respect, you'll stop tolerating it. And the reason why you don't have self-respect today is because you haven't accomplished any of the things that you've wanted to do for yourself. So therefore, you are subconsciously telling yourself you're not worthy of those things. That's what you're doing. But just imagine how much better you would feel about yourself if you always wanted to lose 50 pounds and you dedicated this year to losing 50 pounds and you lost 50 pounds. Just imagine how good you would feel about yourself. We're not even talking about how good you would look. Let's just talk about how good you would feel about yourself. See, when someone really feels good about themselves, not just in a cutesy social media way, no, when they truly, truly, truly feel good about themselves, they're not tolerating toxic shit, y'all. Absolutely not. So that's why I'm telling you, I want you to think about what things have you always wanted to do that you haven't done. And we're not making excuses for it either. No, we're not doing excuses. Excuses get you nowhere. I don't care how far-fetched the idea is. I don't give a damn. We're not going to make excuses for why it didn't get done. It didn't get done because you didn't prioritize it. Let's just be real. Let's just call a spade a spade. The reason why the goal that you had for yourself, however long ago, the reason why it didn't get done is because you didn't prioritize it. You didn't prioritize it. You prioritized that toxic ass relationship. Well, we're taking a new path. And the new path is we're going to work on it this year. 2026 is the year of alignment, okay? 2026 is the year of no more excuses. 2026 is going to be the year that we take full responsibility for the role we played in our chaos, in our chaotic lives, and we're going to move forward. You're not going to cry anymore. Well, you can cry, but you're going to keep moving while you cry, okay? Don't suppress the crying, but you're not going to lay in bed and just cry. You're going to cry while you on that treadmill. You're going to cry while you meal prepping the meals. You're going to cry while you creating your content ideas. You're going to cry while you working on the digital product. You're not just going to sit on the bed and cry. You're not just going to sit in your car and cry. You're going to cry and move, okay? So that's what I need you to know. That's what I need you to know. And once you do, list out how we're going to accomplish the goal that we have. We need to take small steps every day towards that. Every day. Something small towards it, okay? Whether it's, so like let's say for instance, let's say you want to lose the 50 pounds or whatever, right? Okay, well, are you drinking your water? Are you drinking your water? That's something small that's going to get you towards your 50-pound weight loss goal or whatever the goal is. Are you going to get a gym membership and actually go? Maybe last year you just made the membership. How about this year you go? If you are trying to start a business, maybe last year you just talked about all the ideas. How about this year you actually get it done? Okay? And this is going to build self-respect. Just imagine how much self-respect you'll have in 6 months because you had a goal for yourself and you actually worked towards it. And again, I know how it feels to feel like you only attract toxic ass people into your life. I know how that feels. It's not fun. Like you be sitting there like, dang, is there something wrong with me? Like they be having you questioning yourself. Like, dang, maybe I am the problem since I keep running into it. And technically, yeah, you are the problem. It's you. It is you. It's you. Because you don't know no better. You don't know no better. I also want you to think about when you think of your friendships, I want you to ask yourself, have you already communicated to this person how they make you feel? Because some people just really aren't self-aware. Like, well, let's be real. Most people are not self-aware. They have no clue what they're doing. They just know what they know. So because a lot of times people are not self-aware, they don't even realize, or in their world, name calling is normal. So like that's a boundary of mine. I don't tolerate that, right? But in their world, name calling is normal because they do that to everybody. Like I told you, have you communicated to them that you don't like that? If the answer is no, because you think people are supposed to be able to read your mind, then you need to have that discussion. Now, if you've had that discussion 1-2 times and they still keep doing it, okay, well now that's a choice. And now you have to decide, am I tolerating it? The answer better be no. The answer better be no. No, you're not tolerating it because you have self-respect. And if people can't respect you, they need to move on ahead, okay? Because the woman that you're becoming, who you're showing up for every day, working towards her goals, she doesn't tolerate bullshit, you guys. She does not tolerate bullshit. I feel like my camera's getting dark because of the sun coming up. So, I don't know. Hold on. Know your worth, ladies. Know your worth. And don't keep letting people play in your face. Sometimes, too, another reason why we tolerate crap from people is because we live in a scarcity mindset. So we think that if we remove ourselves from this friendship dynamic, then we'll never be able to make friends again. And we'll just be friendless for the rest of our life. Because this is the only woman in the world, and I'll never be able to run across another woman who would ever want to be my friend. So I'm going to tolerate her shadiness and her competitiveness and her fakeness because she's the only woman in the world, and then I won't have no friends. That's a scarcity mindset. And because that's how you feel, you tolerate bullshit. You guys, what if I told you that once you develop self-respect and self-love and confidence and you're living in your purpose, you'll attract a whole new group of friends who know how to pour into you because you pour into them. They know how to reciprocate. They know how to uplift you. Something else I want to touch on when it comes to why people are the way they are. A lot of times, not a lot, I feel like this is most of the time, people can only meet you where they are in life, okay? Think about it. Maybe you're not a user. You're not a user. You're self-sufficient. You know how to go outside and get your money and pay your bills, right? Not everybody's like that. See, I've always come across people who are users, okay? That's been always been my problem. I've always attracted users, okay? But I had to realize the reason why I attract users is because what I tell y'all earlier. People come up to you because you have something that they want. It's not always money stuff. It's something in your energy. They want it. They admire it. So they come up to you to learn more about it. Okay? A lot of times, the reason why I was attracting users is because I'm very ambitious. Very ambitious. I've always been ambitious. Even before I had my business, I've always been a very ambitious person, just a go-getter. You know, and so I've never had to use people before. I've never had to pretend to be somebody's friend in order to get money out of them. I've never had to pretend to like somebody in order to get rides from them. I've never had to do that because I've always been self-sufficient, right? Well, what I need you to understand is people can only meet you where they are. So 9 times out of 10, if you tend to find yourself in dynamics where people are trying to use you all the time, that's because they're not self-sufficient. They're lazy. Okay? They don't know how to make something happen. They don't know how to make anything of themselves. They just don't have it. They don't have it. Okay? So they can't be somebody for you who, you know, is reciprocating because they don't even practice that in their own life. They don't even know how to reciprocate for themselves. These are not people who are sitting around strategizing how they're going to make more money by getting a second job. Okay, they're not introspective, you guys. Excuse me. They're not ambitious. That's just who they are. Okay, it has nothing to do with you. That's just who they are. They don't operate the way you operate. They don't look at life the way you look at life. And so you're projecting. You look at it as, well, I would never be friends with somebody just to use them for money. Right. And because that's not how you think, you don't think that's how other people think. But it is. People can only meet you where they are, ladies. So when you're looking at these people who might have hurt you, ask yourself, what kind of life do these people really live? Is it peaceful? Most of the time it's not. No, it's full of chaos. If you look at their life, if you think about the things that they struggle with, because I'm sure they've opened up to you in some way, shape, or form, just really analyze their life. Is it structured? Are they really hardworking? Like, let's just be real with ourselves for a second. Let's just really sit here and think about the type of people we're talking about, ladies. Like, come on. Come on. Are they responsible citizens of society? Like, let's just be real. No, they're not. But yet, for some reason, you thought they was going to be that way with you. Girl, please. Girl, please. No, they can only meet you where they are, and they're not there. Okay, so it is what it is. Okay, it happened. It hurts. Yes, it sucks. You're trying to be a good friend to people, and you feel like people just walking all over you, and yeah, okay. But the beauty of it is you don't have to tolerate that. You don't have to accept that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You gave them multiple chances. They're showing you who they are. You just haven't taken off the rose-colored glasses, but I need you to take them off today because they ain't shit. They ain't shit, y'all. You're not missing nothing. And I bet you this, if when 10 years go by, if you were to peek in on their life, they're going to be doing the same exact thing. Because most people don't self-reflect. Most people, you guys, look, I hate to, well, I'm going to tell you the truth. It is what it is, you guys. Most people, and again, this is my projection, so I could be 1,000% wrong. I'm just telling you what I feel like. And honestly, I just feel like most people do not sit around and try to figure out where they went wrong in friendships. Most people don't sit around and reflect. Most people distract. So, you know, if the friendship with you guys didn't go well, they just go and get them a new friend. They just go out and get them new friends. They don't sit in their thoughts and think about, okay, what role did I play in this? She told me I was using her. What things did I do in this friendship that would make her feel like I'm using her? They're not sitting around thinking about that. They're going to try to figure out who else they can use because they got bills to pay and they don't want to go get no job. Okay? So just understand that's just who they are. And people don't really change unless life makes them change. But change is hard, you know? So instead of just changing themselves, they just go change victims. They just go change victims. They just go find somebody else who will tolerate their shit for a little while. That's it. But that's okay because they'll still be repeating that cycle for years to come. You check in on their life, they still doing the same thing, still got the same problems, still ain't got no money, still just not serious about life. And there's nothing you can do about it except progress your own life. So that's why I'm telling you guys. For those of you guys who were struggling with that, you've dealt with toxic people and you're trying to figure out, well, why does this keep happening to me? And, you know, all the things. I want you to figure out what would make you happy. What goals did you have for yourself that you haven't accomplished? And let's work on accomplishing them. so that we can build up that self-respect, so that we can stop tolerating bullshit. Okay? That's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do. Okay? All right, cool. Let's do a few affirmations. Ooh, I feel good. See, this is how you feel. You feel great when you ain't got people taking all your energy from you. Okay? You feel amazing. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. And maybe you don't believe in yourself right now. Maybe you don't believe in yourself right now. But how can we start believing in ourselves? Sticking to the promises that you make to yourself. If you say you're going to work on your goals for the year, then you need to be doing that every day. And again, it doesn't have to be 10 hours worth of work. 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Instead of sitting down watching the newest episode of your favorite show, work on your goal. Instead of scrolling social media for 45 minutes on your lunch break, work on your goal. Just work on your goal. I trust myself and my abilities to succeed. I trust myself and my abilities to succeed. Amen to that. There's nothing that you can't do, but your mindset is what keeps you trapped. Work on yourself. Stop tolerating bullshit from others. And most importantly, stop tolerating bullshit from yourself. Okay? All right, you guys, I enjoyed you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And I'll see you guys in my next video.